Look, I get it. Bandcamp was bought again. Seems like bad news. There is one feature that they could add to move in the right direction. All right, so my name is Darius Rhodes. I'm an alternative hip-hop musician. I've been making music for 20 plus years, and I've also started this vlog here on my YouTube page. So one thing you might be thinking is, okay, this is a Bandcamp video, and with everything that's been going on in Bandcamp lately, it's been really nothing but bad news. You knew that Epic Games, who had only bought it 10 months or more, just sold it to a company called Songtradr. So if you're into Bandcamp, you're probably well aware of that. Songtradr is this company that's really into music licensing. And, one of the things that really scared people was the fact that they cut like 50% of their editorial writers from Bandcamp, really gutted the place. And a lot of those workers tended to be union workers or eligible for unions. So not a lot of great news, although aside from that, not that that's small or anything like that, but aside from that, there hasn't been really any changes to the features. And when Epic Games bought it, one of the really cool things that Bandcamp did was they put in a listening party, which I really loved because it was so low key. It didn't require a lot of technological knowledge. It's not like you're live streaming, which you could also do. I just did a listening party for my album about a month ago, and it literally just, whenever the time is, there's a chat room that's set up. There's your album cover and album information, and then it just plays one track after the other. It just plays the whole album, and then you can chat with your listeners and your friends and your fans. So that was great. One feature that I'd like to see, and I know recently, I'd say probably in the last year, they added the ability to shuffle your catalog. So if you're a listener on there, just a fan, you can click a shuffle button, and all the music that's in your catalog shuffles. So that was really cool. I think you have to do that through the app. It's not something you can do, say, on your desktop or a laptop. But regardless, I love that feature. And so what comes to mind for me, listeners and musicians would gain from this, is the ability to create playlists. Now's definitely a great time for me to edit this and just point out, I'm talking specifically about shareable playlists. Bandcamp did add the ability to create your playlists. This was probably a year ago that they did that, maybe less. But so that's great. But the problem is you can't share them out. You can't copy a link to it. There's no place to house them. So what I'm really asking, or what I'm really suggesting Bandcamp could do, was just create the ability for us to share the playlists we create. It could literally be something that we keep on our profile that's not necessarily something that people see, although that's probably a good idea as well. But even if you just have the ability to embed into your own blog, your own website, or of course, share those out to promoters, share those out to curators, etc., that would be a great step forward. Now, everybody's probably familiar with Spotify having playlists. You've got the other contenders like Tidal. You can do playlists on there. Tidal is essentially, it's like a carbon copy of Spotify. The difference is it's obviously not as popular, but it does pay a lot of money per stream compared to Spotify and its competitors. But that's beside the point. So you're familiar with playlisting, which means you're probably familiar with curators who make playlists. And if you're an artist or a musician, you're familiar with companies like Submit Hub, or the one that I prefer, which would be Groover. I've had a lot more success with the company Groover, sending music out and finding playlist curators who will put my music on their playlist, and that's really helped. It's really boosted my monthly listeners and just, given me access to a whole lot of more people than I experienced otherwise. So what I think Bandcamp could do, and they've already kind of shown that they have the ability to do this, is give that ability of creating a playlist to its listeners, to anybody that supports Bandcamp, to anybody that just streams the music via Bandcamp, via the app. I think that would be excellent as a new feature that they should add, and maybe Songtradr could start implementing that soon. Now, what are the benefits, right? Aside from being able to create a playlist of music that you love, as opposed to just shuffling the music that you love, it's more deliberate. So from a listener standpoint, that's great. You're going to create a playlist. Maybe you're going to go work out. Maybe you're hanging out with friends and you create a playlist that you think is perfect for it. There's also in the music economy, right? One thing about Groover is most of the people I'm reaching out to about playlists are focused on, let's face it, who's number one? Spotify, right? Some people are offering to maybe write an article if they like the music. It's not payola, right? They can say no to it, of course. Some people, do a blog article, etc. Very few focus on Bandcamp. And I think that would be one of the reasons, not only just because it's obviously not as popular as a giant like Spotify, but you don't have that ability right now. You don't have the ability to create a playlist. You could embed somebody's album, right? But to say have 30 to 40 artists in a particular genre or something that's similar artists, you don't currently have that ability with Bandcamp. If you've seen the radio stations that they have, right, like Bandcamp Weekly or the Hip Hop Show or the Metal Show, right, you can see right there that they have already built into their system some way of lining up tracks from different projects, from different Bandcamp profiles, different Bandcamp musicians, artists, and bands. So if they would just create something for us as listeners, even us as artists, we can create our own playlists of the artists that we respect and the music that we love. That would go that would be amazing as a step forward, and possibly for Songtradr to kind of show us that, obviously they want to make money. They bought Bandcamp for a reason. Music licensing and what they said they're going to do with that is probably their primary goal. If you're a real skeptic, if you're a real cynic, and honestly, if you're a real realist, you can also say they're just trying to squeeze every last dollar they can out of it. Maybe they don't care about the Bandcamp community and the people that are on it and everybody that's involved and all the years that have gone into building a fan base, etc. But if you think of from a positive standpoint, if you want to think that way, I think that's the best thing that the next step that they could take would be to finally give listeners and everybody involved the opportunity to create playlists just like other places do. But what makes it different is the model of Bandcamp, which is about ownership, which is about supporting your artist directly. And so, not only would you be able to create a playlist, but that's also going to just like it does in the Bandcamp app, when somebody favorites or adds your song or your album to their wish list via Bandcamp, via playlist, they would have the opportunity to see, maybe the CD version or the vinyl or a poster or whatever your merchandise is, or just go ahead right there and support, pay for a digital album or a digital single. I think that would be great. So let me know in the comments what you think. I think this is a feature Bandcamp should most definitely move forward with. Let's hope that that's one of the things they do in the future.